Underwood moving on to a district final. Nick Hackett, Garrett Lutt stars tonight for the Eagles. Garrett, we'll start with you. That was a hard-fought win. How are we feeling with tonight?
Oh, I feel very good about the win tonight. That's a real good team over there. They battled all night long and had good at-bats and threw strikes on the mound. Hats off to them. They had a great season. But we found a way just to, just do enough to win tonight, and, that's all that matters in playoff baseball.
Another really good night pitching for you. Take me through it.
I was throwing well tonight. Found the zone, threw a lot of strikes, and hit my spots for the most part. I had a few lapses, but I was throwing the fastball well, and then mixed in a curveball here and there, and just found a way to get outs.
It seems like there's just something about you pitching against Clarinda that brings out the best in you.
Absolutely. I love the competition. They got the best of us this year in basketball, so I remember that a little bit. Remembered how that felt, and took that out there tonight. And defense did a great job behind me, so it's all the credit to them.
Offensively, you had a couple of big hits. What was working offensively? You guys did just enough.
Absolutely. We saw the ball. Nick had a huge hit there in that inning. A couple guys found a way to get on base, get in scoring position, and then Nick had the big one. So yeah, we just did just enough tonight.
Let's go over to Nick now. How are we feeling about leaving here with the win?
Feels great. Just surviving in advance in the postseason. Doesn't matter how it gets done as long as you win.
You had the big hit to drive into when it was scoreless there in the fourth. Take me through what you were seeing.
I was just sitting on the fastball. I knew I was going to get it. Had to battle through some adversity. Got to 2 strikes, fouled a couple off, and finally got the one I wanted and put it in play. Hit it hard.
Did it feel good off the bat?
Felt great.
In that moment, I know there's still a lot of baseball left to be played, but to know that you've helped your team take a lead in a tight game, what were kind of the emotions in that moment?
I was really excited in that moment. I was on second, celebrating with the guys in the dugout, and just trying to help the guys out in the box next, trying to bring in the next run.
Gritty win tonight. How can you guys learn from this?
Just need to get in the box better, have better approaches in the plate, and hit the fastball, hit the ball hard.
For both you guys now, an old friend on Saturday with Trainer. Thoughts heading into that one, what you guys will have to do to have success?
Just have good approaches at the plate, take everything one pitch at a time, and I think we'll be fine. Trainer's a really good team. We're excited to play them, and it's playoff baseball. Always excited.
Yeah, it'll be a tough one. We just need to throw a lot of strikes and get guys on base and score as many runs as we can. And postseason baseball, it's good to win.
Gentlemen, awesome job tonight.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, hard-fought win over a scrappy Clarinda team tonight, but you guys found a way to survive and advance. How are we feeling about tonight?
Feel very fortunate. I think that Clarinda and what Coach Everly's done the last 3 or 4 years and, throughout all this time down there has been remarkable. They've got guys that are ball players. I think that's the best compliment you can give to another team or a player is that they are a ball player, and he's got a bunch of them. And it was a shame that it was the first or second round of districts, but we're very fortunate. Nick came up with a huge hit, and we were lucky enough to, Garrett got through 2 outs, and the 2 strikes took him out right at the last minute, and Easton was able to come in a real tough situation and get that final out. So again, very fortunate. But again, survive in advance.
Gritty win tonight. What can be learned from a win like this?
I think it's one of those where we're always going to be in the game. We've got to give ourselves a chance. We're some cases we're giving up at bats, which especially this time of year it's never good, but especially this time of year because outs are such a premium. But I think it's something where we know, if our pitchers throw strikes, and we execute, then we're going to be okay. But again, we've got to be able to field the ball, catch the ball, and hit the ball. And we did 2 out of those 3 pretty well tonight.
It felt like definitely after about 2 innings where the first team to score was going to be the driver's seat, and you guys do that in the fourth. Speak to what you saw from Nick and how you got things going offensively.
He's had a great week and a half. He's a senior, and there's something that he truly deserves. He'll be the first to tell you he's not the most athletic, but he works his tail off, and he's worked his tail off, for the last, not only in high school, but even before getting up here. And he's come up with some big hits. These last 3 games, Woodbury Central, Harlan, and then tonight, he's learning to I don't really accept that, challenge, but you know, we don't win in the last 3 games if it's not for Nick Hackett. So just very, very proud of him and the approach that he's had.
Another great night for Garrett on the mound. Are you beginning to run out of ways to describe what he's able to do?
Oh, no. I mean, he's the thing about Garrett is, you know, and people have asked, oh, you know, you've seen his numbers and you've seen his mound, you know, and all this kind of stuff. But I think the thing that sometimes gets forgotten is he is a true leader. I mean, he leads by example. You know, he comes out and rakes the field. He comes out and takes extra ground balls. He goes in the weight room. And the biggest thing is you know, he encourages people. You know, when he hit a leadoff triple, you know, he was encouraging the next 3 guys, hey, you know, it's not get me in. It's, hey, you know, do a job. And that's a baseball player, and that's who he is. So, you know, the accolades and stuff he's going to get. I mean, it just, I don't know how you can argue against what he's been able to do, but I think more importantly is the type of person, the type of teammate he is.
What'd you like from him on the mound tonight?
He was able to throw. We didn't throw as many off-speed stuff tonight, meaning our changeups. He spun the ball pretty well, but he was able to locate. And again, it's tough. You know, let me back up. We knew this year in particular that Lucas was going to be gone after this year, so we had Maddox catch him any chance he got. And you know, I guess fortunately and unfortunately, you know, it paid off. You know, tonight in this situation where you know, we had to rely on Maddox because of Lucas's injury, but you know, he executed and just very proud of both of them.
An old friend on Saturday night. To move on, what are you guys going to have to do?
We're going to have to play better than we did tonight. I mean, they're hitting the ball well. They're fielding well. I mean, they're doing everything that they need to. You know, we just got to come out. We got to have 3 really good days of practice. We've got to focus. You know, we looked at, you know, the districts, and you and I talked before him. Is like, I don't know how Tri-Center did, but you know, Trainer, us, we played each other twice, and you know, somebody's going to have to play each other 3 times in order to, you know, I don't know, like I said, I don't know what Tri-Center did, but somebody's got to play 3 times to get to where we want to go. So it's unfortunate that happened, but you know, it's just going to come down to execution this time of year, and you know, hopefully we can scrape one more across.